Hey guys, what is going on? My name is Fen, and today I just want to talk a little bit about Mr. Pandaria. So I'm currently 85. Me and Rookie dinged 85 today, and let's do slash played, and we'll say 2 days, 22 hours. You know, in terms of leveling, I'd say about 2 days, maybe 15 hours, because we did a lot of time where we weren't actually doing anything because people got in AFK. We've got in real life commitments as well. So, but generally, I think we did really well to level so fast from 1 to 85. The buff that we get from Enlightenment helps a lot. I mean, it's a 50% increased experience from quests and killing enemies. So that going into dungeons and doing the dungeon quest helps us a lot because it's almost like 100k per quest at the low levels. So it's actually insane. Now, of course, at level 60, it's like 30k, and then 70, it's like 40, and then when you get into Wrath of the Lich King and all that kind of stuff, it goes up to from 50. And I think in Cataclysm, we were aiming at around 98k XP per quest for some of the dungeons. So really, really good XP increase, and I mean, it's a lot of XP. And if they didn't add that to the monks, there's no way we would be 85 right now. But also, I don't think a lot of people would really want to level a monk, because for people who have level 90s already on different classes, that's their main class. And I know a lot of people will want to level a monk up just because it's a new class. But of course, their priority is their main, which is the class that they love. So, of course, leveling a monk up ain't always ideal. But saying that, the 50% increased experience helps a lot. So if you get the full heirloom set plus the buff, it's 100% increased. So if you are actually leveling up again, or maybe you're going to be leveling up in the future, I do recommend getting the full heirloom gear, such as shoulders, chest, head, back, and I believe legs now. So get all that XP, and of course make sure you get your pilgrim buff. Now, you get these at specific levels throughout. You get it at level 20, and then I believe it's every 10 levels after that you get it. But you also get it as a daily as well, which also gives you insane amounts of XP. So make sure you do that, and do it every day. Now, if you've got a quest and you have the daily as well, you actually get to have a 2-hour buff instead of an hour, which is the just normal. So it does actually stack. So if you wanted to, you could actually save. For instance, if you're doing Recruit a Friend, don't take this buff until it runs out. I think it's at 85 now, or it might be 80. But save all your buffs, and then when you actually get into 85 or 80, you can actually go and get like an 8-hour buff. And that's 50% increased experience, which is going to make your leveling a whole lot better. Now, I'm not sure if we actually get this buff at 85 plus. It would be awesome if we did, because 50% increased experience would actually give us a big advantage. But then again, it might be too big of an advantage, so I don't think they would actually give us that. But it was fun while it lasted. So today, I don't know what day it is today, to be honest. Let's have a look. It's the 30th today. So we're almost out of the month, and we didn't take too long to level, actually. We took a full week. Well, was it a week? Yeah, I guess it was a full week to get from 1 to 85, so I'm extremely happy about that. Over the next few days, me and Rookie are going to be obviously questing. Tomorrow at 9 a.m, I'm going to be live streaming on YouTube. I'm trying YouTube out instead of Twitch, so you guys, it's a bit easier for you guys to actually just log on and actually just watch instead of going to a different website. So I'm going to be live streaming with Rookie. We're going to be doing some quests and stuff. Unfortunately, I can't play music because I'm not sure if it's copyrighted. Even if I play a radio station, it could be classed as copyright. So I'm not really sure, but if you guys have got any questions, leave them in the comment section or the interactive comment section, and we'll be glad to answer them and give you tips and stuff, what we went through while leveling, or just anything in general. So that being said, let's take a look at the monk, because today I got a lot of gear. All this gear here, the majority of it I made. So I've got a leg enchant, which is from, I believe it's from my level working. Yeah, it is. Basically, this is a pretty decent buff. Now, My level working is almost max, but I need Spirits of Harmony, and I also need to do some quests in order to actually unlock them. So I'm pretty a dead end basically, but I can make some pretty decent gear. You can make these items which obviously give you a random enchant, and if you're lucky you actually get the blue set, which is phenomenal. So I'm a tank at the minute, so my health is pretty high, which is pretty decent. I've got a lot of decent gear, and a lot of this is actually quite cheap on the auction house. Some of them are actually going for about 800 to 1 to 2,000 gold. The ones I bought were between 100 and 200 gold. So I'm not going to buy expensive items when I can actually just get them probably better later on at like 86 or something. I'll probably replace it anyways. So I have obviously enchanted my braces because I am a level worker. Ruki gave me an epic enchant for my shoulders. And then all this other stuff here is the low level stuff. The staff is pretty decent. I'm going to be upgrading my staff tomorrow as well. It's one that inscriptionists can make. I'm also going to be boosting inscription myself because you get a really, really good epic staff at the end of it. It does take quite a bit to make, but with a bit of farming and 20 days, because you need to do a daily thing, and it's basically called a scroll of wisdom, and it's basically got a daily cooldown, so you'll have to get that. So it'll take me 20 days to actually get it anyways, which will give me enough time to farm up the Spirits of Harmony that I need as well. It's an epic staff. It's actually a really, really good one. It's almost as good as the looking for raid item. I'm not sure what raid it actually is, but it's got about 1600 stamina on. It's got about 1300 agility on, and a few other stats I'm not quite sure, but it's a really, really good staff. So I've been debating to myself, dual wield or two-handed weapon. I'm not quite sure, because the thing about tanking is elusive brew. It's a good ability, but it's very hit and miss whether you actually generate elusive brew or not. So you can go times where you're not actually generating any at all or very little, and it just doesn't work out. It basically leaves you with no cooldowns, because of course once guard is gone, it doesn't absorb much damage. 33k, you might think that's a lot, but when you're AoE pulling a pack in a dungeon or you're fighting a boss, that goes very quickly. So what else would you actually have? You pretty much don't have anything, because yeah, sure, you could keep Blackout Kick up, but it lasts 6 seconds, and it's very, very difficult to actually manage this when everything is going on. When you're a tank, you have to be very, aware of your surroundings. As someone ninja pulled, is the boss going to do this ability? Is the boss positioned correctly? All this actually comes into play, and when you're trying to manage the Blackout Kick, which is Shuffle, it gives you this buff called Shuffle, and it lasts 6 seconds. It basically increases your shuffle, and it also increases the parry chance by 20%. And considering you have like 8% parry, the extra 20% is actually ideal in surviving. But the icon, because it's so small, and because there's so many buffs that you actually gain as a Brewmaster tank, it's very difficult to keep track of, especially up here. So I'm trying to figure out an add-on to actually get it in the center of my screen so I can actually track it. I'm going to be doing a video on that as soon as I figure it out, for everyone else who actually is having trouble with that. But like I was saying, if you can't generate elusive brew, you're pretty much screwed. You don't really have that much mitigation in regards to other tanks. It's pretty straightforward what they do. For us, it's a lot difficult. We've got to generate certain things to use. Much like a DK tank, with their runes and whatnot, if they've used all their runes, they can't really do much. But lucky for them, they have Blood Strike, which automatically gives them a shield, and it heals them as well. And for us, with our heals, we've got Expel Harm, which of course generates energy, uses energy, but it generates 1 chi. It would be nice if we could glyph it even, if that would generate 2 chi. That would be so much and so ideal, because I would actually use Expel Harm instead of Jab, because Jab isn't that great. It does balls damage. You say there it does up to 2k damage. It doesn't. It's very, very weak, and the amount of energy it costs, 40 energy, that's a lot. I could only get 2 of them off, maybe a third one, but then again, Keg Smash is a far superior one because of the debuffs it gives, which obviously interact with better with other abilities. So overall, I think Jab is a very, very weak ability, and I'm pretty happy if it would actually get changed in a patch, because it's just not that great. In terms of talents, I've gone for Momentum because this speed increase is far superior to the extra third roll, considering you can't exactly change direction once you begin to roll. So the roll and then the increased movement speed is ideal for getting in position, especially in dungeons. In terms of my healing ability here, people have said go for Zen Sphere. It does cost the same amount of chi as pretty much all of these. Now, if I was going to be fighting a boss in raids, something like that, I probably would take Chi Burst, but then again, it really depends because, you know, I want to keep Blackout Kick up as much as possible. So if this is taking my Chi, and I want to have my Chi for Blackout Kick, which is far superior. So generally for a tank, you want to go for one of these two. Now, at the minute, I'm using Chi Wave because it seems a lot more accurate in terms of healing. Zen Sphere doesn't seem to give me as much, so I'm not quite sure on that, but it probably would be the better case later on, because it does do AoE healing as well, so it does help out your group. In terms of Chi generation, I'm tempted to go for this one here, which gives me an extra Chi, but then again, if I do, I'm not going to be able to take a benefit of the Power Strike, which generates an extra Chi, so I get 2 Chi. Because what I do is I use Keg Smash, which generates 2 Chi, and then I use, let's say, I use my Guard, and then I use my Jab, then that will give me enough Chi to actually use a Blackout Kick, which gets my parry up. But then saying that, if I have this one here, I would be able to use my Purified Brew a lot more. I mean, it really depends. In terms of stunning, Deadly Reach isn't really needed for me, because when I'm basically AoEing trash packs and stuff like that, obviously I'm not going to be using that. A healer or maybe a DPS would be more suited for that. But in terms of me being a tank, Leg Sweep is very ideal because I don't understand why these two are so different, yet they're so similar. I'll explain. This one has a 1 minute cooldown and it stuns for 3 seconds. This one has a 45-second cooldown and stuns for 5 seconds. Now, the only difference here is the range. Now, when you're AoE mobs in a dungeon and you're not CCing, stunning all enemies around you, that's really ideal. This is the same thing. You can pretty much stun most mobs around you if you just backpedal a little bit and then they'll start running towards you. You can actually use this and it'll stun them all. So I like this one better just because of the animation and whatnot. It's more, I don't know, it's more appealing to me. But the cooldown doesn't make it viable and nor does the stun. But it does travel up to 30 yards, so if there's a caster in the back, again, you can actually stun that. But then again, for 3 seconds, it's not exactly fantastic. So at the minute, I am using Leg Sweep. In regards to my 75 talents, currently I'm using Diffuse Magic because I have 0 magic reduction. I do have this one over here, which is the Zen Meditation, but again, it's if you get hit by a melee, it's useless. Now, I've been using it in a few dungeons and it works really, really well. And this is going to be really ideal for raids and stuff when big AoE damage is coming in. Really ideal. It's going to be a real lifesaver. So if I was facing a really heavy dungeon, I'd probably go for this, which would reduce my physical damage. But if I'm going magical, I'll probably go for this. I might even keep this, to be honest, because I have a lot of damage reduction being a tank anyways, in terms of melee, because I've got dodge, I've got parry, I can absorb some damage, I can do some little bit of healing, and basically you're better equipped to deal with physical than you are magical. So having some magical reduction is also good. Now, I could change my guard with the glyph to actually turn it into magical absorption instead of physical, but I don't really know because it says at the bottom here, any heals you apply to yourself, so it's only me, increases by 30%. Maybe that's a good idea because it's going to be up longer, but then again, I don't really know. It depends how much self-healing we have to do as a tank, and I don't really know that yet until I actually start tanking dungeons and whatnot, and then I can actually work it out. In terms of my level 90 talents, for single target bosses, I'm going to change out for Invoke Exune, I think his name is, the White Tiger, because that's going to do more damage to the boss. In terms of AoE and your trash packs and all that kind of stuff, I'm going to go for Rushing Jade Wind, just because it's a lot better, and it causes shuffle when cast, which is ideal. Chi Torpedo, not particularly great. It only heals allies, so maybe that would be good for a healer or perhaps a DPS. But then again, DPS would probably go for the Tiger because it's DPS. But yeah, so in terms of glyphs, I can actually use another glyph now. I'm not sure what I'm going to go for. These are probably will be changed out because I really need to look at these and see which ones are actually ideal and which ones actually are just for leveling. Because Spinning Crane Kick, allowing me to move faster with Spinning Crane Kick is really ideal, but only for leveling. In dungeons, it might not be so useful. There might be other ones in there that might be more useful, so I will have to have a look at that, which I'll probably do at level 90. In terms of these other ones, they're just you know, minor glyphs. They don't really matter that much. But yeah, so I'm really happy with the way monks are, and in PvP, monks aren't the greatest at low levels because we have really bad gear. At least I had really bad gear. I've only noticed now since I got up to 80 plus, my damage increased tremendously because my gear was increasing. And right now with this current gear, I'm critting really high with Keg Smash. Without any Vengeance, I'm critting about 30k. With Vengeance, it's about 45 to 50k. It's a lot of damage, and it really does make a difference. So if you're leveling a monk up and you think, oh, the damage just isn't there, of course not. You're low level, it's not going to be there until you reach the high levels. In terms of PvP, you won't be able to kill anybody. No one, no healer, nothing, unless you have the Rising Sun Kick, I believe it's called. Let me just do a quick respec here for you, and I'll show you which one you need in order to kill anybody. It's this one here. It's called the Rising Sun Kick. It applies mortal wounds, which reduces healing. Without this, you won't be able to kill anybody. Try it yourself. Level the monk up to 30 and go PvP. Use Chi Wave to keep yourself up, and it's just insane. Now, if you're a Brewmaster, no one will kill you because they won't be able to break through your shield in terms of breaking through your shield and Chi Wave being on cooldown. Because Guard has a 30-second cooldown, Chi Wave has a 8-second cooldown. So, you know, they just won't be able to kill you. It's impossible. Even me and Ruki fighting one Horde Monk, we weren't able to kill him because the heal was just too much and we didn't have the DPS because I was a tank and Ruki was a healer. So if you do want to DPS and you're leveling up and you're getting ganked and whatnot, go DPS, go Windwalker, and make sure you have Rising Sun Kick. I'm not exactly sure what level you get this. I don't believe I'm able to see. I don't think it tells me what level we get it, but I think it's, I don't actually know because I didn't change back to Windwalker until like level 80 because I was getting ganked. But yeah, make sure you have that. I think you get it at level 30 or something like that. You got to get it at least low levels or life is going to be miserable for you guys leveling. But yeah, so that's all I wanted to talk to you guys today. You know, I wanted to do a quick video, even though I'm not sure this has been that quick. I wanted to do a quick video just to update you guys, to let you know I haven't forgotten about you guys, and I haven't forgotten about my channel. Just been doing a ton of leveling, and hopefully going to get to 90, going to get some dungeons done, going to get some PvP gear, and just going to wreck some shit. So guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you've got any questions about my experiences with leveling, you know, which zones I went to, you know, what methods I incorporated in leveling, all that kind of stuff, then just leave them in the comment section below and I will reply to you guys as soon as possible. So thank you for watching, and make sure you hit that thumbs up button. It lets me know you care, and I'll catch you guys next time. And just for nostalgia, let's do there we go. See ya.